Hey guys, it's your humble host Rick here if you prefer, so I'm doing a very quick video. I just got done watching Lauren Chen's video about hookup culture disappearing. Oh my gosh, so it has been argued, it has been said that these women who like to sleep around and casually hook up do not use abortion as a contraceptive, and that everyone's screeching about how abortion should be kept legal and blah, 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 blah. Always bring up rape, incest, medical complications with pregnancy, and those cases are few and far between. As anybody who's actually dived into the statistics of abortions, the reason why they are done, you will find a good majority of them, if not between 70 to 90% of them, are elective. I have seen videos, because I follow certain pages, of women who have gone undercover into Planned Parenthoods, and there was one particular story of a woman who was pregnant, and I'm going to assume this was against the wishes of her husband, that she was going to abort their child because she didn't want to take the time to care for another one, even though she failed to use contraceptives and the like. So I've talked about on this channel how sex has been treated. There is two extremes it has been treated, and neither side is kosher, in my opinion. More on that later, not for this video, another time. Anyway, so you have a bunch of, let's not bullshit, thoughts, whatever you want to call them, hoes, tarts, I don't care, bitching about no longer sleeping around or having one-night stands, casual hookups, the whole shebang if Roe versus Wade is overturned. As many people who have actually read the bill, gone over the bill, have expressed, because I've seen it too, it will only kick back the decision to the states themselves. Yes, there's many states who have created the heartbeat bill and have said, no, we preserve life here. And I believe it was either DeSantis of Florida or Bott of Texas that said this state is a sanctuary state for life. Meaning we do not support abortions here. I want to say that was Texas. Don't remember. Anyway, though, so you have a bunch of girls who like to sleep around and not take any accountability or responsibility. And let me also point out this, because I know this is going to open up a can of worms, because I've talked about this too, and I'm going to mention it here, but the way that certain things are treated as healthy, for example, sex work, contributes to the problem and the thousands of children that are unnecessarily killed because all women want to do is sleep around. And I know guys have casual hookups too. Guys are just as stupid for doing this. So to those, I want to see it, women who want to be mad, stay mad. Because at this point, what you are advocating for, and I've talked about this with multiple people. I even had one debate, this was a few years ago, this stream is no longer up, how prostitution should be legal, sex work should be legal, and blah, 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 blah. No, all of that contributes to not only many other problems, and also is a symptom of deeper issues with society as a whole, but it contributes to this. So, with everyone bitching, with everyone saying, oh, well, my right, abortion is not a constitutional right. It is nowhere in the Constitution at all. So I don't care for the debate anymore. I've actually had this debate a couple times. When life begins, when life starts, some people believe it's when life is automatically conceived. Yes, there's a little bit of science behind it, where the fertilized egg bounces around for 24 hours and then sometimes can just disappear, like be flushed out with everything. So that's neither here and there, though. The main point of the argument is you do have a human life. And again, as I have pointed out before, I believe either on stream in these debates or to other people, is that you have many, many mothers who are just depressed, get depressed for weeks when they miscarry. I actually had, because I've talked about this before, a very, very, very early miscarriage quite a few years ago, and that was when I was coming off the depot. My body could not produce enough progesterone on its own, so when implantation bleeding happened, it flushed everything out. Suffice to say, I was depressed for a few days, and after the doctor's appointment, I went home and pretty much slept. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to go to sleep. So, it is a life inside of you. And hookup culture needs to die and burn in hell. It is part of the majority, if not a major symptom, of a much deeper problem, and undermines relationships between men and women, because it makes both men and women both look like objects and just sex toys. Because hookup culture, like, it's cancerous. You can get embroiled in custody battles. We have seen women who have used said hookups, didn't let the guy know he was pregnant until months on down the line when it was too late to do anything about it. Now, let me also point this out, because women who do casual hookups, again, this is where sexual education comes in. This is where how sex is treated come in. Like, this is a whole big issue with multiple faces, or if you want to look at it like a really messed up gemstone, multiple faucets. So, women screeching about Roe versus Wade, because I've seen pictures of signs with the hangers and nobody's violating your rights. At that point, what people don't understand, because I've heard men trying to freaking say, well, I'm going to get a vasectomy for Roe versus Wade. Please do. Take yourself out of the gene pool. We don't need your stupid. But you have to take responsibility. Sex is not a casual thing. Studies have actually started to come out showing that casual sex is not really a thing. You know what sex really is? And it's not what it's seen in porn, because porn is fake and an animalistic version, which is not real. If you guys know anything about the production of porn, and no, we're not going to go into it here, but it's all acting. Nothing is real in porn. But sex is intimacy between a husband and wife. It's vulnerability. And as Jordan Peterson said, because Jordan Peterson even touched about this, because he was talking about porn, the effects of porn, is when you are able to have that closeness with your husband or your wife, you are developing your character because you are connecting with your spouse on a level that you're not going to connect with anyone else, nor should you. So that develops your character, that builds trust, that opens the vulnerability door even more, because it means you can expose yourself more safely to your spouse. So sex is not a casual thing. It is not something to be played with in regards to, well, I could do it whenever I want with whoever I want. That's not realistic. That's not family building, and that's why people like to bring up this argument too. Well, how come you guys just don't adopt? People should stop having babies and blah, 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 blah. You know why there's so many kids in orphanages right now and in CPS, and I know there's CPS, kidnapping, and all the other stuff. With that aside, just in general, do you know why there's so many kids in orphanages right now? Because people have kids and they don't want them. They don't take responsibility. And I'm not, people going like, well, if they'd just been aborted, they wouldn't have been born. Great, so we're advocating for the murder of kids, a baby in the womb, because people don't want them. So that's not only satanic, but it is beyond barbaric. And anybody who's actually seen the process of abortion, I've seen pictures. I don't need to see the actual, no, pictures are enough. And no, I will not be showing any of them here. And I'm going to wrap this up because we're nearing 10 minutes. So, but no, the way that sex is treated in society, whether it be porn, hookups, there's so many variables. And like I said, I want to do a video someday because I'm going into some personal stuff, good stuff. in regards to this, that I really feel no one really talks about, and it should be talked about, but I'm at a point right now where I can talk about it with clarity. But with that being said, in short, hoes be mad, and they can fucking stay mad for all I care. That goes for the guys too, because I know guys will get women pregnant and not want fuck all to do with the child and walk out on the single moms. That's still not an advocation. That does not give the right to anybody to kill the child. Yes, it is a child inside of you. And for people saying, well, it's not the child's not viable, blah 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 blah. Yes, it needs the child needs extra machines, but there's a such thing as preemie babies, and they survive just fine without the womb. Yes, they need a little bit of medical assistance, but they're still viable, even with a little bit of help. And they still go home to their parents. Many, many women have given birth prematurely because their body said, oh, it's time, or something else happened to where they were forced to give birth to the baby prematurely. So I don't understand this mentality in a way. I kind of do, but then for the most part, I don't, because it's so disconnected and so disjointed that it's evil. It's really evil. It's a bunch of women wanting to run around and mimic what men used to do. Do you guys remember anything about the sexual revolution, learning about it, 1970s? If not, look it up. Women pretty much wanted to mimic men. Women have got to stop doing that. Men, stop sleeping. And I know it's not going to happen because people are stupid. People think they are wise in their own ways when they are some of the most dumbest people on the fucking planet. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to end it here, and hoes stay mad. Because, you know what, it's time. It's time you learn the word no.